Niche versus designer fragrances. What do these phrases even mean? Is a distinction important? Is there a reason I should be looking at one versus the other? Today we're going to talk about that very topic. It's a heated topic that if you've been in the fragrance game for a while, it's something you've definitely heard of, but not everybody knows exactly what that idea means. So today we're going to discuss what differentiates niche versus designer fragrances, why that distinction is important, and if you should even really care. So stay tuned and we're going to jump right into it. So before we talk about too much what the difference is between niche and designer, I think it's important to give you guys an example of two flagship type of fragrances from each of those two categories. So right in my hands here, I'm going to give you guys a close-up as well. We have got Creed Aventus, of course, very well known by almost anybody who's been in the fragrance game for a while. And over here, we have got Bleu de Chanel, of course, by Chanel. This is the Eau de Parfum. It's kind of irrelevant for this topic. Why these two? The reason I chose these two fragrances is because you've got a really good example as to what makes Bleu de Chanel a designer fragrance and what makes Creed Aventus a niche fragrance. So the words originally mean as a designer, you have your things called designer shoes, designer handbags, designer cosmetics. There are lots of things that these designer brands will make. Some of your more popular ones are, of course, Chanel. You've got Dior. I could go on and on. Anything that you walk into your local Macy's, Nordstrom's, JCPenney, and you head over to the shoes, you head over to the handbags, you take a look at the cosmetics. If you see that company promoting any of those products, and they also make fragrances, that will typically immediately classify it as a designer fragrance. Now, niche brands. Niche, by definition, the word typically means distinct. In the fragrance world, the things that describe a fragrance as niche are going to typically mean high quality ingredients. It's typically going to mean limited distribution, or at least somewhat limited distribution. They're not going to be sending your Creed fragrances to TJ Maxx and Marshalls and Ross's and Macy's and every single department store out there. And like I said before, high quality ingredients, niche brands typically hold themselves to a higher standard. Not always, but sometimes when it comes to picking out less synthetic and more natural ingredients. But the word niche, in retrospect, really means they only make fragrances. Chanel, you can go buy Chanel lipstick, you can buy Chanel eyeshadow, you can buy Chanel clothing. There are products that Chanel makes that span across the fashion world and not just fragrances. Is that necessarily a bad thing? To some, yes. To some, designer is a word that's almost vomit worthy. They've been into these niche fragrances for so long, and the fact that they're usually different, they're a little bit more out there. Sometimes they can be classified as a little bit more bold. Niche fragrances typically are a love it or hate it kind of fragrance. So when you get compliments, they're going to be really good compliments, but some people will be turned off by your scent. A good example of that is Tom Ford's Private line. If you're wearing Oud Wood or Tobacco Vanille, you're not going to smell like a lot of other guys. You're going to have an extremely unique scent. And some people adore that and want to smell bold and confident and different. And others think, why in the world would I want to get negative feedback, even if it's just from a couple people? I want to wear something like Bleu de Chanel that's DNA that's been around forever, that's been tested and true, and pulls compliments from just about anybody who just enjoys a nice smell. So today is not so much to tell you whether you should buy designer or niche, but more to give you some information and for you to make that distinction yourself. So as we move along with the video, you're going to need to do a little bit of soul searching and realize that designer fragrances are going to fit the mold of mass appealing much more than niche does. That's kind of the goal of a designer fragrance. They make a lot of other products, so they're well known. Chanel is a name known by men, women, young and old everywhere. And it's not just Chanel, like we said before. Dior, you've got Giorgio Armani, you've got, Coach. I mean, we could go on and on, guys. Michael Kors, Calvin Klein. There's going to be fragrances by these designers in masses, whether you go to your local department store, such as Macy's. You can find them at your TJ Maxx's and your discount department stores. Niche brands are going to be much harder to find, which some people would say gives them a class of elegance. You need to go to very expensive, high-end designer stores or department stores, such as Saks Fifth Avenue, typically has a higher selection of niche than any others. Or you may need to go directly to the distributor. You can buy Creed on their website and pay full retail, and that's certainly an option if you want the pride or want the prestige of owning a Creed fragrances. So some other good examples of fragrances that are considered niche. Mancera and Montel are often considered like intro niche fragrances. There are a few Creed fragrances that some people would say is a good niche for a beginner, such as Silver Mountain Water. Some people would argue Aventus is a good one for a beginner, Green Irish Tweed. These are ones that are somewhat easier to wear than some of the more bold, out there niche fragrances. A couple of others worth mentioning, you have Kilian, Parfums de Marly, and Bond No. 9 New York. Those are a few of the more well-known niche brands, which brings to light the fact of if a brand's blown up and becomes so well-known and it's not this indie, trendy, little small circle of people buying these fragrances, is it really even niche anymore? That's something you'll, again, kind of have to discern for yourself if that's really true or not. But those are a few good ones. If you are interested in looking at the niche world, I would recommend checking out some of the ones I just mentioned. They're easy to find at discounters, they're popular, and at the end of the day, they're almost always going to be good choices. Some of the Kilians, I believe, are really bold, but at the end of the day, if it's something you enjoy, you are going to stand out and you're going to smell different. So really, it's up to you to pick and choose whether or not you want to go mass appealing and have DNA that's a little bit less unique, but is going to get you compliments. These are going to be a lot more affordable, and it's going to be something that your everyday man is going to want to pick up, rather than something that's going to open up their wallet and absolutely drain it. Something that might be hard to wear or hard to pull off. Maybe it's not an everyday fragrance. Maybe it needs to be dressed up, or it's hard to wear to the office. So those might turn somebody off and just want to go to a Macy's counter and pick up something that's popular and that everybody likes. Before I made this video, I did grab one more bottle because I think there's a weird distinction that this particular brand falls into. This is my opinion only. I don't know if others feel the same way. But we mentioned Tom Ford earlier, and this is one of my favorite Tom Fords. It actually made my most complimented list. This is Fleur de Portofino. Now, Tom Ford, as a lot of you will know, is an extremely popular designer brand. Clothing, cosmetics, fragrances. Tom Ford does it all for the most part, and he's very popular and very successful man. So is this niche? Because by definition, he makes all kinds of products, so this wouldn't be a niche. I would almost call this a niche designer hybrid, and the reason being is that the ingredient quality that he uses in his fragrances are unbelievably high. You can just tell when you smell these fragrances that, man, something went into these that took a lot of time, that took a lot of confidence to put out something that not everybody is gonna like, but when people like it, they're going to love it. So I almost would call Tom Ford, especially his private line, like a designer niche. By definition, he's not niche, and none of these fragrances are. But I think they're a really good stepping stone to those who are used to designers, don't mind spending a little bit more money, and want to buy something that's going to make them smell a little bit more unique, something that's going to be a little bit more powerful and bold. Even this guy here, Fleur de Portofino, it is, by all definitions, a freshy, beachy, warm weather, great for floral types, attitudes, and it's by definitions a freshie. But this is one of the most interesting and bold freshies out there. If you have other people out there that are going to be wearing your Bleu de Chanel's, Dior Sauvage, Giorgio Armani Acqua di Gio, other things that are common in the summertime, and you wear this, you will smell different. You will stand out. This has got ingredients that far and away set it aside from other freshies. So I think Tom Ford, and there may be a few others that I'm thinking, are an interesting middle ground between your designer and niche that I think is worth mentioning. The price point of Tom Ford's fragrances absolutely go to the niche side. These are significantly more than ones you're going to find at your Macy's counter, your JCPenney's counter, for good reason, in my opinion. I mean, these are exceptionally high quality fragrances. But at the end of the day, guys, the main thing I wanted to highlight with this video is don't get too caught up in the niche hype. Some people are going to see Bleu de Chanel, Dior Sauvage, your average, everyday, average in terms of how many people own them, everyday fragrances, and say, oh, you're wearing that designer crap, you smell like everybody else, the ingredients are cheap, it's meant to appeal to everybody, you're never gonna smell unique. And if that's how you feel, that's 100% fine. I wouldn't bash those people, but I encourage people that are watching my videos, any of those of you that are new to the fragrance game, to not be afraid to go to the designer side if it's something you enjoy. If your girlfriend, fiance, wife, friends, family like these fragrances on you, rock them with confidence. They're popular for a reason, and companies like Giorgio Armani, Chanel, Dior are making lots of money for a reason, guys, because they produce quality stuff. But also, in hindsight, I would like for you guys to don't be afraid to order decants or go to your local Saks Fifth Avenue or your local retailer that sells some sort of niche products and get your nose on them. Get a couple sprays on the wrist and on the neck and give them a wear for a day. There's something to be said about niche fragrances and smelling different, unique, and having that vibe around you that something in most of these niche fragrances just gives you that feeling of confidence. Holding these expensive and high quality bottles in your hand almost does something to you subconsciously. And if you know you're wearing a fragrance that's highly regarded and has a lot of prestige behind it, and that gives you more confidence and that makes you feel like, man, I spent a lot of money on this. I got something not a lot of people are wearing. I feel great. Then even if the fragrance smells like anything else, I think that's a win. I think that's great if it gives you an air of confidence. So don't run out and dump all of your money on niche fragrances. I would highly recommend picking up decants. I'd highly recommend getting your nose on these first. Sample. Too many of these niche fragrances are $200, $300, $400 and up for a bottle, and nobody wants to waste money on something that you're not going to enjoy. So I would highly recommend sampling first, but don't be afraid to expand your collection. If you're a guy who's owned 3 or 4 fragrances over the years and it's always the same ones and you always go to your local Macy's to pick up that bottle when you run out, maybe it's time for you to branch out and try some brands that aren't so well known and that are going to get you noticed and different kinds of compliments than you've ever had before. So I hope today we cleared up a little bit of what the difference between designer and niche is, why that distinction is important, and the fact that there's no need to hate, there's no need to pick a side. If you want to, people will. They will pick one side or the other and think niche is a bunch of overpriced stuff that's not worth the money. Designer uses a bunch of crap ingredients and it's mass appealing and it's boring. It's up to you. I encourage you not to pick a side and to try both. Find what you like and try out both sides so you can get the best of both worlds. I hope you guys learned a little bit of something today and found some insight on when you're going to the fragrance counter, whether you should look at niche fragrances or designer or both. If you guys enjoyed today's content, please make sure you smash that subscribe button. If you want to be a part of the Founders Squad, we're coming in on 100 subscribers, and I'm so excited. If you're enjoying the content, drop a like as well. Make sure you leave a comment down below. Did I cover all my bases? Do you have other insights on niche versus designer that you think would be great for some new people to learn? And I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Make sure you tune in for more content coming in. You're watching Scents by Sean. Have a great day.